It's time for Edgewise on your hometown radio station, WMMG. The phone-in talk show where you're given the opportunity to express your opinion on local and national topics of concern. This is your chance to get your word in. Edgewise.
Any views or opinions expressed on this show by guests, phone callers, or the host of the show are strictly those views and opinions of the guests, the phone callers, and the host of the show, and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of this radio station, its employees, or sponsors of the show. Like Alex and I were telling you on the morning show, we rely a lot on eyewitness weather here, like Les Nessman on WKRP. That's where we look out the window and witness the weather with our own eyes. But we're going to do you one better. On the phone with me right now is, not sure who it is, but somebody from the National Weather Service. Good morning. How are you?
Well, good morning. This is John Gordon, National Weather Service. Good morning. It's nice to hear Les Messman's name from the immortal WKRP in Cincinnati.
Oh, and I loved the show years ago when I wasn't in radio, because I've always followed and understood it. But, boy, when I started working here and went back and rewatched that stuff, absolutely a whole new meaning, man.
Oh, it's great, man. Eyewitness weather.
Eyewitness weather. And the helicopter. We can't forget the helicopter.
And the pig reports.
Oh, the pig reports, yes, and the Silver Sow Award. But anyway, we can walk down radio memory lane anytime. What is the latest information you guys have on the system that's moving through here?
Okay, for the Brandenburg area right now, there you have snow occurring across the whole area, but there's really distinct bands. If you look at your favorite weather app or look at our stuff out at weather.gov/Louisville, there's bands of snow really heavy just south of Brandenburg. The heaviest band is probably from E-Town to Bardstown down to Litchfield and south. South and east of you guys is the big band. They're going to get anywhere from about Hodgenville over to Lexington of probably 10 to 14 inches of snow.
Wow.
I think for you in the northern part of the county, you might have as little as 2 to 3 inches. In the southern part, you may get as much as 6 or 7 inches of snow.
The way I have been seeing that laid out on everybody's prediction map, whatever, the lower or the bottom part of the county, the most southern part of the county, was kind of right there on the line, and the line kind of came up into the county a little bit, so it's still kind of laid out like that, right?
Yeah, it's going to be really tight. You're going to have listeners on your station calling with all different kinds of reports. There's two main areas of snow right now. There's a comma head, which is rotating around the northern part. That's in southern Indiana up by Jasper and Ferdinand. They're going to get a lot more, believe it or not. Then there's a gap, which alludes to the northern part of your county. And then the southern part is the edge of that really heavy bands of snow. I mean, they can hardly see out the window in Hodgenville and Bardstown and Springfield and Danville. Very, very heavy snow.
Okay, and those bands are going to kind of track the way that they're tracking. They're not really necessarily moving north or south.
Well, they're moving a little bit to the north, but they're having a hard time getting up to all the way up to the Brandenburg. The winds are going to stay strong today. You're going to have probably 12 to 22 and gusty. There'll be a little bit of drifting. I think the big story after the snow ends is tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, we'll lose some of the cloud cover. We have all the snow on the ground. Brandenburg will probably get from 2 below to 3 above.
Okay, so it's the bottom's going to drop out of it then, and what we have will definitely freeze.
Yes, it's going to be very cold. So if you know of someone who's got problems with their furnace or their heating or someone who's homeless, I'm telling you, it's going to be really cold tomorrow night.
Okay. We, of course, we've got you on all of our computers here, and I've even got the mobile app on my phone. Check that periodically when stuff is...
yeah. The latest information, folks, you want to see it, is just at weather.gov/Louisville. We've updated the briefing slides. It's up at the top, real simple. It shows you what we're thinking, and we'll be updating this for all day long.
Okay. How often do you update that? Scheduled time or just in an event like this as needed, I guess, isn't it?
Oh, we've been trying to update it about every 4 to 5 hours. These slides, we're going to do an emergency management conference call with the emergency manager there in Meade and Breckinridge counties. They'll all be on the call. We'll put up the updates. The big thing is, if you don't need to go out, folks, especially if you think you need to go to Lake Cumberland or Lexington, do not.
Stay home.
Stay home, because it's going to be a fiasco. It's going to be a fiasco on these interstates.
Because when I'm done here at like right around 12 o'clock, I'm getting the usual, bread, milk, and toilet paper, and I'm headed to the house.
You bet. That's right. I don't know if there is any toilet paper left. We can ask Les Nessman, but I don't think there's much left.
Probably not, but that's okay. That's, if you have a subscription to the Courier Journal, it makes a great substitute. All right. Anyway, anything else we need to know, sir?
No, I just want to give you guys an update. You have a good day, and hopefully we'll all be through this safe and sound, and have a great day.
You betcha. Everybody keeps their head and use common sense, which is a rarity these days. But if you got it, flaunt it. We will make it through this. This is not snowpocalypse like whatever that commercial is. He's getting to be an old hand at this. My buddy Ryan Skaggs is in here with me. And, Ryan, you have brought a very, very special guest with you today, sir.
Yes, sir, I have, and I'm going to let her introduce herself.
All right.
Hi, my name's Alina Chesser, and I'm Miss Wheelchair Kentucky 2016.
Okay. Tell us about Alina Chesser. I was not even sure what part of the state you were coming from. I told Ryan this morning, I said, look, this girl needs to cancel. We're good. I get it. And she came all the way from Radcliffe.
Yeah, I'm not really too scared of the snow, so I braved it today.
Some of the stuff we were talking to, because she's been here for a little over an hour, you were talking about all kinds of Army stuff and big tanks, and, I mean, you've been like some places, huh?
Yeah, I lived in Germany for about 3 years, and, I've seen tanks get sideways on ice before, so I figured I would brave it in a Honda.
So a little snow on between here and Radcliffe. No. Now your title is Miss Wheelchair Kentucky, and come and check out our Facebook page. You will see a picture of her and all the girls in the band here at the radio station. But she comes today complete with the crown or tiara. Crown. That's a crown. I don't care who you are, and the sash. Tell us about being in a wheelchair. Is that something recent? Is that something you've dealt with all your life?
No, I was actually a deputy, and I practiced hand-to-hand combat, and I used to volunteer on Fort Knox doing OPFOR to help the military train. So I did a lot of stuff, and
Right.
my body took quite the punch, and my back took a lot of damage.
Right.
And I broke my back at T5 and T10.
Wow. Okay.
And
my wife has back issues, so I'm kind of familiar with some of this language.
yeah, and eventually I needed to have back surgery.
Right.
And when I had the surgery at U of L Hospital, there was an accident during the surgery. And the surgeon slipped up, made a mistake, however you want to account for it, cut too deep, and paralyzed me during the surgery.
Oh, my goodness.
And that was on September 17th, 2013.
So this is, as far as the long haul goes, relatively new, but not for you.
Yeah, it's relatively new, but, I've adapted to it, and I adapted pretty quickly. It's had its ups and downs.
Sure.
But, it's what you get used to. It's what you can overcome and how you address it. Once I got home, of course, it was harder. But now that I've gotten used to being in my wheelchair, now that I've learned what I can do and how much I can do, I really have excelled.
And you just, in regardless of how you answered the question I just asked you, in conversation with you out front, before we made it in the studio, I knew you could accomplish whatever you wanted to accomplish, just in some of the experiences that you were sharing with me and Ryan and Alex and everybody here. I can kind of relate to that. As we were talking in the lobby, and the listeners know I was born legally blind. Neither eye worked real well, but I lost vision in the right one back in '85. That was an adjustment period. I'm like, what am I going to do? But you either deal with it or let it whip you.
That's right.
What are you going to do?
You have to know yourself too. You have to have that internal motivation.
One of the toughest things we will do, most of us, is be a self-motivator. You know, if you got somebody hanging out with you, go, hey, let's go do that. You know, fill in the blank, whatever. You go, yeah, sure, I'm on board. But to actually, you know, get up and roll with it and have that within yourself, that, man, is such an important tool and such a great key, you know, to just being able to deal with whatever comes along. So 2013 to here, what prompted you to take on Miss Wheelchair? Well,
when I was in the hospital, I actually met one of the Miss Wheelchair Kentucky winners.
Mm-hmm.
She was in Fraser Hospital doing a fundraiser so that she could go to the national pageant. And when I met her, I was so excited to see something like that. Now, most of my friends would have looked at me and said, I can't believe you're going to do a pageant because I am such a tomboy. Ryan can attest to that. I had always been tough and rough and, you know, kind of climb trees, roll in the dirt.
You're a deputy. You were training soldiers. You were doing all this and going down to Nolans.
When we were in college, if something needed to be done and we weren't sure who could do it, Alina could do it.
So
we know who we're going to have.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know, I was always this go-to person, and I wasn't so much a makeup wearer or fix my hair kind of girl. And, you know, even when I was a deputy, it was just throw my hair in a bun and go out the door.
That's right. Because some bad guy going to come along and mess it up.
You know,
chase him or shoot him or whatever.
So it's not, you know, it's not something people would imagine me doing.
Right.
But when I got to thinking about it, I knew it was going to be a service I could provide. It was going to be a way to be part of the community again. So to me, it was just giving back again. Just like when you're a deputy, you're giving back to the community. So that's where I really got my go-to attitude for it.
It's not winning the crown and being able to wear the sash and, wow, look at this, isn't this cool? It's all of the doors that opens for you.
Right, and it's not even about me.
Right.
Because when I won, my idea was to bring other people along with me when I do these events. Like when I'm bringing Ryan with me today to go talk on the radio, when I go to Cardinal Hill or any other rehab place, to bring other people with disabilities with me, because you never know who's going to touch someone. My story may touch one person, but somebody else's story may touch someone else. So I want to build a better community for people with disabilities. It's not just about the crown and sash for me.
Right.
It's opening up the ability to make a stronger community.
And it's everything that comes with it. Those doors that are open for you, that you walk through, and open doors for other people.
Right.
Man, that's, you know, because, I've talked to so many folks, and they want to, you know, whatever their thing is, whether it's pageant or music, want to get this award and that award. And but the folks that are doing it for the right reasons, it's not about the accolades. It's about the platform that you then have that you can use, but the things that you want to bring to the lives of other people, right?
Right.
Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm bilingual, I speak English and hillbilly. I've just got to watch what I do. Sometimes it's like, y'all. But anyway,
and
man, that's such a great attitude. Jeez.
There's currently 54 million Americans living with a disability. And sometimes they can feel like the world isn't open to them, like they're alone in their fight.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want them to feel that way. I want them to feel like they can be part of the community, that they can go out and do anything that they want to do. So,
folks, and I've noticed, because with the thing I deal with, I don't have the dark glasses, I don't have cane, I don't have service dog. If you don't know me, you probably, got no idea. But when you see somebody with a service animal, when you see somebody in a wheelchair or with the red and white cane with the red tip, some folks have never really, I've seen it on TV, but they've never really been around a person that is dealing with a disability, so they themselves aren't quite sure what to do or what to say. We're just folks, baby. you know, I mean, we're just folks.
That's right. And a lot of times when someone hasn't been around it or are uneducated to the ideas of someone with a disability, that's how you get discrimination and you know, some bias to come in. So the idea of my platform is to have three things going, and that's accessibility, acceptance, and advocating. Accessibility is finding a way into facilities and communities. Acceptance, finding a way into hearts and minds. And advocating, finding a way to change the world.
Right.
So that's going to be my platform this year, to try and do those three things in the state of Kentucky throughout my travels. You know, just help everybody to understand who we are, to break down the bias, to educate people, and just make Kentucky a better place for people with disabilities.
And you obviously are doing well at that. Ryan does this. I don't know really too many people that deal with whatever their thing is that aren't in their day-to-day lives just doing that as a matter of purpose, just getting out there, you know, living life 101. But when you have some of the opportunities that you have because of the title, it just makes it that much better. You can reach more people.
And I'm
thinking doing what you do.
And
right?
I'm getting to start, you know, helping these people learn very young. I'm going into elementary schools and speaking to, you know, children, so that it helps even with bullying, because a lot of times in school, if someone has a disability, they may get picked on or bullied a little bit more than someone who doesn't. So I'm getting to go into the schools and, you know, say to kids, it's okay. You know, it's okay to have this difference.
It's our differences that make us unique, whatever those differences are. Yeah. And, you know, and there are so many campaigns and projects out there to stop bullying. And should we? Absolutely. Will we ever? Probably not. I would like to think that we would, but you as well as I and Ryan and everybody in the room and in the house today, we pretty much understand the human condition. And as long as there's something different between me and you, one or the other of us is more apt to pick on that person than not.
Yes.
It's just how we're wired.
Yep.
Sorry, it is. But a lot of the things I think that we can do about bullying is encourage folks not to do it, but also the ones that are getting bullied, you don't have to believe that. Just because some dude bigger than you are, or that walks better or sees better or what than you are, just because they said that about you, that don't make it gospel. That don't make it the truth.
There's actually a theory. It's called the labeling theory. Mm-hmm. It's actually from the criminal school, and we learned about it in my bachelor's degree program.
Okay.
And it's a theory that says if you're told something so much, you will begin to believe it.
You'll buy into it because it's easier to do that than fighting.
That's right.
A lot of times.
So if you're labeled something so much and you're told something so much, then now you start to become it. Mm-hmm. So we as people, and if we see someone getting bullied or we see someone getting told something so much, we need to counteract that. If we see somebody in school getting told they're stupid,
right,
we need to step in and say, you know what? You're not stupid. We have to take that initiative to change that. And that's where acceptance comes in. We need to start working with people, raising the awareness, changing ideas, and we do that through education and communication.
I remember my daughter's journey through high school. She was a target of bullying, and she did the best she could to ignore it. But God did something in her one day to where she used to just be very shy, very withdrawn. One day she woke up and she was not that person anymore. The other person took over. She would stand up not only for herself, but she would step in. She saw somebody picking on somebody else because she knew, she understood what that felt like. and she's tried to take that and turn it around. Ouch. Boy, that's going to leave a mark. Hey, we're going to take a quick break right now. You take phone calls, yeah?
Yeah.
She ain't scared at all. 270-422-3961, 3962, or 1-800-203-4175. We'll be back on the other side of the break.
Oh no, you have a big event coming up and you're in charge of the food. What are you gonna do? No problem. Call Home Plate Restaurant in Brandenburg. They offer catering for all your special events, family reunions, office meetings, parties, weddings, and more. Kathy and her staff can do it all. Stop by or give them a call at 422-1759. Home Plate Restaurant in the River Ridge Plaza on the Bypass in Brandenburg. Stop by today.
Mix and match to the max with McDonald's new McPick 2-for-2 menu, featuring the McChicken and McDouble sandwiches, small fries, and new 3-piece mozzarella sticks. Choose any two for just $2. It's more ooh-la for less moolah at McDonald's. Prices and participation may vary. Price of single item on menu board. Attention farmers, contractors, and homeowners. BIM's Trucking and Ready Mix Concrete is your locally owned and operated supplier for your concrete, crushed stone, and sand needs. From grain bins to new homes to driveways and more, give them a call and see how much money you can start saving today. You'll be glad you did. We have products you can build on. BIM's Trucking and Ready Mix Concrete, 120 Shamrock Road in Brandenburg. Call 270-422-4155 or 422-7744.
And that's when I seen it there, the 30-point buck.
30-point buck!
Deer season is here.
Shoot this thing.
So when you do bag your deer, bring it to Webb's Butcher Block to get it processed the way you want it. From sausage, steaks, roast, ribs, chops, hamburger, and even bacon, Webb's does it up right. Webb's does custom meat processing of your hog and beef, too. Webb's Butcher Block, it's more than just meat processing. It's service, convenience,
I ain't gonna lie to y'all,
and a promise that you come first in everything they do. Stop in today. Webb's Butcher Block on Rodelia Road in Painville. Call 496-4124.
WMMG has some exciting news. We're giving away another free vacation. We enjoyed our Christmas vacation giveaway so much that we figured we'd give our listeners another opportunity to win a free trip to either Branson, Missouri or Virginia Beach. All you have to do is log on to the website at WMMGradio.com, click on the vacation giveaway link, and enter your first and last name as well as your phone number. On Friday, February the 12th, during Edgewise at 11 o'clock, we'll be drawing one lucky winner who will win a free vacation. So this Valentine's Day, you can give your sweetheart what they really want, and it won't cost you a dime thanks to your friends here at 93 WMMG. You must be 21 years or older to enter, only one entry per household or phone number, and WMMG employees and their families are not allowed to enter. Good luck from all of your friends here at 93 WMMG.
Funerals bring out the best and worst in people, and the Crazy Fry family is no exception. Dorothy Fry's husband dies unexpectedly, and now a church committee is trying to take over the funeral arrangements. Her two daughters are at each other's throats, and her brother-in-law is trying to take her house. Watch the hilarity unfold in Southern Fried Funeral, on stage now at Derby Dinner Playhouse. Start the new year with laughter by calling 812-288-8281 or visit derbydinner.com. Southern Fried Funeral, a big-hearted comedy, Southern style.
Name of the show is Edgewise. Welcome back to it. Now, there's a national competition coming up in August. We'll get to that in a minute. But what and being having a platform in the title, getting you through doors so that you can open doors for other folks. What else have you been up to since this has happened to you?
Well, I got to do the Christmas parade in Elizabethtown, and I did some Christmas caroling with my church, which is Bible Baptist there in Radcliffe. I also got to visit University of Kentucky's Pediatric ICU.
Oh, wow.
Where I met a very, very nice young lady who had a brain tumor removed just days after Christmas. and sadly, she was just diagnosed just days after Christmas with a brain tumor, and they went on and removed it. She is doing well. I'll give her a little shout out, Kaya. I hope you're doing well. Also, I've been working with Kentucky's Department of Emergency Management. I posted some information about everything so that people with disabilities can know who to contact if something happens with all of this weather we're having.
Then you and Ron Dodson have probably met before.
I've actually been working with everybody in Frankfurt.
Okay.
So all of the assistant directors and the director himself. Okay.
If they ever have any questions, though, they probably call Ron. He just knows stuff. I am so thankful he's on our side and not with the opposing team, because we would be sunk. This would not be pretty.
I've also been preparing to be in some derby events, which is pretty cool. We opened that door to be in some derby events for the first time, and people have been trying to get the Miss Wheelchair Kentucky members involved with derby events for the past 20 years, and we're just now getting involved. So
come on, loosen up, people.
I know.
Really? Seriously?
I know, but we're getting to do it this year.
That's good,
so excited.
Way to go. Okay, let me change my direction. Nice job, folks.
I know.
Way to go. Okay.
We're really excited to get to be part of that this year.
I don't want to blow your deal, man. We were that close till that guy in Brandenburg said what he said.
They're doing really good this year. We're really excited.
Yeah.
I'm also going to be getting to throw a ceremonial pitch at a Bats game this spring, so I'm really excited to get to do that.
Good for you.
I'm going to have to practice, though, because I don't know how far I can throw.
See, the one-eyed guy with a microphone and a guitar never gets invited to throw a pitch at any game. They just know better. Because they don't. Well, he was a great player until that guy took him out. Got that concussion. And
it would be a fly ball.
Oh, absolutely. I guarantee you talk about a wild pitch.
So I'm getting to do all of this, and this is what's going to prepare me for nationals. All of the things that I do here in the state is what will be looked at to see if I would be a fit to be a spokesperson for the Miss Wheelchair America position.
And when you go to this, and I'll ask you the same question about the state, what kind of, because we all know, we've seen pageants, seen them, been in them, something. What are they similar or dissimilar to the garden variety, quote unquote, beauty pageant? How does what you do differ from, say, Miss Kentucky or what have you?
Well, this is definitely not a beauty pageant. It is about achievement, advocacy, and opportunities.
Right.
The judges do not look at our beauty whatsoever. They look at our communication, our public relations skills, our accomplishments, and becoming a spokesperson for people with disabilities. They look at our accomplishments since becoming a wheelchair user. They also look at our demeanor, how well we work with everyone. They want somebody with a positive outlook. They want someone that can fit into any situation. And that's, able to have fun.
You came in here, and it's like you'd been coming in here to do whatever for years. I mean, it really is, And it ain't like we're a hard bunch of people to fit into. Don't get me wrong. But I don't know. I hadn't really slowed down, and I just don't know what to expect sometimes. I don't think about what to expect because my preconceived notions about somebody, that don't matter really at the end of the day. I think you will do well in this. And the things that you mentioned about your competition, Miss Wheelchair Kentucky going on to Miss Wheelchair America?
Yes.
United States. America.
America.
Okay. America. With an M, America. The things and the qualities that you mentioned, they're sort of kind of there in the others, but boy, you kind of got to dig for them. And really, that's really what makes us who we are, is not being pretty or being, any of that superficial stuff. I mean, it is who we are, what makes us who we are, what we accomplish, what we want to accomplish. Not sure where that feedback's coming from. and all of that stuff. I think, in the big picture, in the world view, that sort of thing needs to be changed. I think the work that you guys are doing, hopefully, is gonna be looked at maybe by some of the other competitions.
Yeah.
Maybe not, but it'd be cool.
Yeah, it would be really nice. And, last time Kentucky had a national winner was Terry Cecil, and that was back in 98. So it's been about 20 years since we had a national title holder back in Kentucky.
I'm thinking this is our year.
I'm thinking so.
Let's hope so.
And you know what?
It needs to be.
Are you ready for this?
Sure.
Top it all off with something amazing.
Okay.
The crowning for Miss Wheelchair America this year is on my birthday.
Oh, really?
It's on August 14th.
It's a sign.
I think so. I'm just saying.
Steve, I see our light going on.
It's got to happen. I'm waiting for it to blink.
So I just think that would be
if it's gonna blink.
Completely awesome.
If it doesn't blink, it's not mine.
Okay.
Alex is either taking more closing information or somebody wants to know if there's school in Meade County.
Just wanted to make sure. Didn't want us to miss a caller.
Oh, and we haven't. Good morning. You're on Edgewise.
Yes, this is Patrick Tobin from Vine Grove. I used to be scared to go out because I've got interstitial pulmonary fibrosis. Well, I'm on oxygen constant. Anywhere I go, I've got to have at least 5 liters or more of oxygen going in my system.
Right.
I'm glad she's on because recently we went to Rafferty's, me and my stepson. Now, he's an EMS tech from E-Town. He works for Hardin County EMS. And he usually goes with me because, he knows backup first aid and all. And anyway, we were going to Rafferty's to eat one night. So as we come into the parking lot and got ready to get into the handicap spot, which I'm entitled to, because I have a sign on the back, handicap patient, and then I have the placard that goes in the window.
Right.
The stepson has one in his truck, so if he takes me, he will only display it when he's got me on board with him.
Okay.
Now, as we got ready to pull in that, there's a woman sitting across from it, didn't have no license on, didn't have the hanging tag. She rushed and took over that handicap spot, and then had the nerve to sit there and look at me. Well, I got ready to take her license number, which I should have, and then tell the staff inside. But anyway, my stepson helped me in, got me to a table. Well, they happen to be sitting at the table right next to us. So every time they look over at us, but they would get up once in a while and run to the door to see if maybe the staff called the police or something, to have them written up because they were in an unauthorized spot. I used to be, hateful to go out, but, I'm scared to go out and people see me. I try to cover up the cannula on my nose and all, but I'm not anymore. People out there, like my stepson said, they are getting used to handicapped people, and they know, that it's something that happened to them, and, they don't show me any, most of them don't show me any different mind. But there were a couple other issues that I told him, I said, you know what, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to write Matt Bevan, the governor of Kentucky, a long letter, and I'll have it proofread by your mom, because she's a registered nurse, trained in all that rescue and emergency care down in Louisville for first Kentucky won. Anyway, she had the nerve to look at me and all. And then when we come out, as on the way out, she was still sitting there looking at me, and then backed out and took off. Well, me walking out, he was helping me.
Right.
Well, I accidentally tripped off the step, and when I did, my whole left arm was scarred all the way down. The skin was busted off it. So I told my stepson, I said, we've got some first aid equipment in the truck. I said, if you just patch me up till we get home, then, I'll let you do it professionally. Because, he knows what to put on there where it don't stick to the skin.
Sure, absolutely.
But I'm glad she's out, your guest there, that she's out, especially with the school kids. Put the word out. It's not our fault that we're like this, It's
And you know, and you had to go through a lot that particular time and that particular situation. But I have to sit here and wonder how the folks that and let's call it what it is, the folks that whipped in there and swiped that spot from you that was rightfully yours, how do you think that changed their lives?
Well, you know,
how do you think?
Honestly, there's a lot of different ordinances, and in Lexington, it's a $250 fine if you park in a handicapped spot and you don't need to be there. And in different cities, you know, the cost changes. But if you see someone doing that, honestly, do call the police. The restaurant doesn't have to be the one that calls the police. You can do that yourself. So you can be proactive in that situation. Don't feel like you have to wait. If I see someone doing that, trust me, I am proactive and I do call on them. I'll also call if I see someone in the striped yellow lines, because that is for ramps so that people can get in and out of their vehicle. You know, hopefully they will think twice before they do that again, since they did see you and notice you making eye contact. That is a bad situation. We hope that people don't have to go through that. And
Absolutely.
And it is sad when it does happen.
And you know, I'm sorry you had to go through that, but hopefully that changed, because folks whip in and out of those all day long, and they don't see somebody who needs it, who needs it. That's why they're there. That's why these laws and ordinances got put in place, is to make things just a little like that aspect of life, getting in and out of a restaurant or store or whatever, a little bit easier. But hopefully when somebody actually comes in contact and sees the person whose spot they just took, thank you, hopefully that does change their life. Brother, I appreciate your call. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for all the information. And next time somebody does that, I will get on 911 and get the police.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much.
It's a lesson they need to learn that away, you know. Yeah. I don't like to do it, but, I mean, they took something that I'm entitled to, you know.
That's right.
And I appreciate your call. And here's the thing. A lot of folks, you know, well, I don't want to make waves. I don't want to cause trouble, you know. What if somebody comes in there that is in worse shape than you are and dealing with more issues than you have to deal with next time? What if they took a spill and maybe weren't as lucky as this guy?
Right.
Maybe something a lot worse happened, and it all could have been fixed with just a simple, I'll walk 4 car lengths maybe when I don't have to, just so these folks can have this spot. It's a simple thing. We deal with it. We see it every day. Quick break. We'll be back.
That's when I seen it there. The 30-point buck.
30-point buck.
Deer season is here.
Shoot this thing.
So when you do bag your deer, bring it to Webb's Butcher Block to get it processed the way you want it. From sausage, steaks, roast, ribs, chops, hamburger, and even bacon, Webb's does it up right. Webb's does custom meat processing of your hog and beef, too. Webb's Butcher Block, it's more than just meat processing. It's service, convenience,
You know, I ain't gonna lie to y'all.
and a promise that you come first in everything they do. Stop in today. Webb's Butcher Block on Rodelia Road in Painville. Call 496-4124.
Attention farmers, contractors, and homeowners. Bim's Trucking and Ready Mix Concrete is your locally owned and operated supplier for your concrete, crushed stone, and sand needs. From grain bins to new homes to driveways and more, give them a call and see how much money you can start saving today. You'll be glad you did. We have products you can build on. Bim's Trucking and Ready Mix Concrete, 120 Shamrock Road in Brandenburg. Call 270-422-4155 or 422-7744.
Home Plate Restaurant in the River Ridge Plaza on the Bypass in Brandenburg is serving up all your breakfast favorites Tuesday through Saturday from 8 till 10:30. Come on out for eggs, biscuits, gravy, sausage, and more. It's all waiting for you at Home Plate Restaurant Tuesday through Saturday from 8 to 10:30 in the River Ridge Plaza on the Bypass in Brandenburg. You can give them a call at 270-422-1759.
WMMG has some exciting news. we're giving away another free vacation. We enjoyed our Christmas vacation giveaway so much that we figured we'd give our listeners another opportunity to win a free trip to either Branson, Missouri or Virginia Beach. All you have to do is log on to the website at WMMGradio.com, click on the vacation giveaway link, and enter your first and last name as well as your phone number. On Friday, February the 12th, during Edgewise at 11 o'clock, we'll be drawing one lucky winner who will win a free vacation. So this Valentine's Day, you can give your sweetheart what they really want, and it won't cost you a dime thanks to your friends here at 93 WMMG. You must be 21 years or older to enter, only one entry per household or phone number, and WMMG employees and their families are not allowed to enter. Good luck from all of your friends here at 93 WMMG.
Name of the show is Edgewise. Welcome back to it. I believe this one is probably ours too. Let's find out. Good morning. You're on Edgewise with Miss Wheelchair, Kentucky.
Good morning.
Morning.
Young lady, first of all, I'd like to commend you on such a positive, great attitude with adversities you've been handed in life. I know having a good attitude makes things a lot better, but sometimes it's very hard to. And I want to, first of all, commend you for that. Second of all, in the opening statements and stuff, I missed part of the hour, but it seems like you said the doctor made a slip up and cut a little deep and stuff. And I'm curious about this. Is that something he openly admitted to, or is it something he had to find out, or what?
Or can you talk about it? I'll even throw that in there. Or do you choose to talk about it?
Yeah, I'll talk a little bit about it.
But I want to give you that option because that's...
The doctor was terminated from U of L Hospital. They could not do any... They would not do any other, compensation or anything like that. But the doctor was terminated. At first, he didn't openly admit to it, what had happened, but the surgery was supposed to take 1 hour, and it turned into a 7-hour surgery.
Wow.
And when they came out of the OR, they first told my family that I was fine. And then I was in the recovery room and I was waking up, and they do tests to, they tell you to move your feet, things like that.
Wiggle your toes, da-da-da-da-da.
Right. After any kind of neurological surgery, be it spine or brain, anything like that. And this is, from my family, because I was on so many medicines that I couldn't tell you what had happened. I did not respond to any of the neurological tests. I would not move. I could not move my feet. I could not move on my toes. They were telling me to push down like a gas pedal on my feet, and I wasn't responding to that. So they started sticking pins into my feet and legs, and I wouldn't move my legs. I wouldn't respond to that. So they started pinching my legs, and they were pinching them so hard that they were actually twisting the pinch and pulling my leg completely off of the bed, and I wouldn't even wake up or move or do anything. So they went back out to the waiting room, and they informed my family that I was paralyzed.
We have a problem.
And, of course, my mother and Jerry, my best friend, was there, and those three people were there and to support me during the surgery. And for them, everybody said my mother got white as a ghost. They thought she was going to faint, that they thought she wasn't going to be able to handle it. And she, of course, started asking questions. What do you mean she's paralyzed? You just told us she was fine. We don't understand what's going on. And the surgeon said, well, it could be just her spine is swollen. Give it some time, see if the swelling goes down in a couple of days. If she's still not responding, then we'll know there's a problem. 3 days went by. this is when I became more aware that there was a problem.
After you shook off the surgery and recovery and all of the
medications and everything like
and
this.
All that, right.
3 days later, now now they've told me there's a problem, and I'm not on the medicine. So now I've realized, okay, there is a problem, because now I couldn't move my legs. I couldn't feel anything around my chest or my stomach. And they started, of course, poking me with needles, taking cotton swabs and rubbing on me to see if that would stimulate a feeling or anything like that. And nothing was making a feeling, to the point that sometimes I was cheating and saying I could feel it, even though I couldn't.
Because you didn't want to buy into it.
Yeah,
right?
I was almost in denial. And
sure.
I was like, yeah, I'm fine,
Yeah,
even when I wasn't.
I'm good, sure.
So at first, it took me a while to say, yes, there's a problem. But then the doctor, he came in, I can remember it like it just happened. He came in with 4 other people from the hospital staff that we had never seen before. And it turned out to be the leading hospital staff. And they, my mother was sitting there with me, and they began to talk to us about what had happened. And they expressed their apologies.
No, sure.
And they said they were going to do more testing on me to see if there was anything else they could do. And they decided that they had done as much as possible and that another surgery would not benefit me. So they wanted to send me to Frazier Rehab, which is the #1 spinal cord injury hospital actually in the nation.
Right.
And it happens to be here in Louisville. It's part of the Christopher Diana Reed Research Foundation,
right?
Which is Superman's hospital.
Yeah, they top dog, man.
And so I was transferred from U of L to Frazier, where I began physical therapy and things like that.
Do you look and because people ask me about my eyes all the time, which is where this question comes from. It is what it is. I know what they can and can't do because I'll be 58 in April. But you haven't lived with this for 57 years. You've dealt with this since 2013. Do you ever kind of secretly, and I guess if you answer yes, it won't be a secret anymore, do you ever Google medical procedures or do research or go, gee, there's got to be something, maybe they could put this back together?
Well, there is currently a medical procedure that they do at Frazier. It's called a spinal cord stimulator. They've done it on 5 people, and it's working on the 5 people that they've done it to. You can see it on CNN.
Okay.
You can even look up the research at Frazier. This spinal cord stimulator that they have embedded in people, it connects the stimulator from one part of the spine to another part of the spine. It connects the breaking points there.
Okay.
In where the spinal cord has severed, and it allows for a new connection to be made. And the people that have had the spinal cord stimulator implanted, all 5 people, are now able to move their legs just as if they have never had the spinal cord injury to begin with. So the research is there. They are making advancements every day. I have put myself in that place that, if I can be part of the research, I definitely would.
Right.
But I am not to the point where I have to have that. It's not set to me that, I want to have it done. I need it.
I can't live like this anymore. My God, I
right.
should have. Yeah, that goes back to kind of what we have talked about before. You can do with it, or you can wallow in it.
Right, and I do believe.
And
one of my core beliefs is that everything happens for a reason. There is a reason that I am in this place in my life, and I can make the best of it. And that's what I've done. I have a charity where I get to help children get the medical equipment they need. I go out and speak to people about, what I can do in my wheelchair. I actually teach a hand-to-hand combat class for people in wheelchairs. And it's amazing to get to bring that power back to people that are in wheelchairs.
I have known you for, oh no,
A little bit over an hour and a half.
A little bit over an hour and a half. And I don't want to be the scumbucket coming up on you thinking I'm going to take this girl's purse. I don't know. No, I do not want to be that guy because you think the doctor made a mistake. This guy's going to be attraction for the rest of his life. You rock, girl, I want to tell you.
I spoke at one of her events when she first got her charity started, and she said, I kind of want to do a combat demonstration, but I need somebody that's willing to do it. And
so she sucker you into being the guy that I don't want to be.
No,
okay.
I literally raised my hand and volunteered, and
I'll do it.
And she looked at me and went, "No, I will hurt you."
Well, I've flipped some big old boys over my chair before that said they wanted to volunteer, and as big as 260 pounds, and I've flipped them over my back and put them on the ground. So
the 140-pound man would be no problem.
Yeah, I really do.
She would snap you like a twig.
I was at a meeting at the University of Kentucky, and I was talking to them about the hand-to-hand combat class for wheelchair users, and one of the lawyers at this board meeting for UK asked if I could demonstrate something, and I said, well, does anybody want to volunteer? And of course the lawyer that wanted to see something decided he was going to volunteer.
You got to flip a lawyer. Cool.
Well, I told him.
Sorry, some of my best friends are lawyers. But
I told him to go ahead and run at me.
Yeah.
And he ran at me forward, and so I put him into an arm bar from him running at me forward. I put him into a quick arm bar, and everybody that was at this meeting looked at me and was like, oh my gosh, that happened so fast. And I was like, well, if you're going to be in a fight, you don't want it to happen slowly.
Yeah, this ain't a $6 million man where we go, no, it's real time.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I want to, and gosh, I hate this. We are so much out of time, it ain't funny. Will you do me this favor? Will you please come back and keep us in the loop and let us know how your journey is going?
Oh, of course.
You are an absolute inspiration and a fabulous guest. How can people get in touch with you, follow you, see what's going on with you, say, hey, girl, come out and speak to us, or any of that stuff?
Okay, if you want to get a hold of me, you can get a hold of me on Facebook. What you want to do is go to facebook.com/2016 Alena, ALENA Chesser, CHESSER, or you can go to facebook.com alena.chesser.pageant. Okay. Or you can go to, this is my personal website, it's walkingtowheeling.org.
Okay. You are remarkable. And I say that because I've dealt with everything I've dealt with all my life. You were handed this through no fault of your own. But you have taken this and you have turned it into anything but what it looks like it is on the outside looking in. And not everybody can do that. And you're quite remarkable.
Thank you so much for having me. I've had a great time here.
And it has been our pleasure. And you never did say you made me that promise. You come back, right?
Oh, yeah, I'm coming back.
Okay. Oh. Yes, you heard that. You make sure she does.
Yes.
You and Buddy.
We also have it recorded.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. So we have it on file on Digi. Y'all have a wonderful, blessed, safe, snowy, whatever it brings weekend. Use your heads out there because some folks won't. That's the best I can tell you. Have a blessed weekend, folks. Be good to one another. Be safe. Hasta luego, el Quacadillo.